This week, gaming has hit the reset button. Xbox has announced another round of layoffs, with more than 3,000 jobs going as the industry continues to search for growth in all the wrong places. So we're asking what this means for gaming, whether we're heading towards another industry correction, and why these stories seem to keep on repeating. But rather than dwell on the doom and gloom, we're hitting reset ourselves. If we could start our gaming lives over again, knowing everything we know now, how would we approach our time, our backlogs, and the games we choose to play? And joining us for the discussion this week is Alex from the Mimics Vale, stepping into the hot seat while Scott enjoys some paternity leave. All this and more on this week's Pixel Parents podcast. Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Pixel Parents podcast, the show that discusses all things gaming from the perspective of parents. I'm your host, Liam Kelvin, and today I'm delighted to be joined by the veiled one, Alex. How are we doing, Alex?
Hello. Nice to be back. It's been a wee while. Nice to see you. Congratulations to Scott.
Yes, massive congrats. The big man is a dad again.
Yeah, I'm very well, thanks. Nice to see. Nice to be here. Maybe not the nicest of topics we're going to cover, but let's keep it nice and cheery.
Yeah, we'll breeze through it, but stick with us. We are going to spring back out into a blossom of positivity and have a wee laugh. Exactly. But I did promise everybody we're going to have a delightful guest on while Scott's away, and I think I've more than delivered here, Alex, so we really appreciate you coming on.
Sorry to those of you that are disappointed.
Not at all. There'll be nobody there for that, man. But how's things been going anyway? It's been a while since we've been able to catch up on the show. You've been busy gaming, more Legos in the collection I can spot behind you there.
There's definitely more Lego. Still plenty over here that are to be built. Plenty of gaming as well. Maybe not as much as I have been in the past, but that's just, it's like life gets in the way.
Yeah, it's a pain.
It is a pain, probably. Some of this news has been quite not personal to me, but I've been having similar issues with myself with my work, which turned out well for me, which is good, but that kind of detracted from my gaming time for a wee while as well.
Of course.
But all's good, all's well that ends well, as they say, and yes, I'm very much enjoying this ridiculous year of games and this ridiculous amount of games that are still to come. So yeah. And I think you're one of the few people that's not excited for Grand Theft Auto 6 as well. I couldn't give a shit, to be honest. Like, genuinely.
He exists, people. He exists. No, don't worry. Well, there'll be no GTA chat this week. We had enough on that, but I need to ask a question. I put you on the spot here on the show. Okay. But did you buy the Minas Tirith Lego set?
I did. It's still in its box over here. So maybe over the weeks you might see it. You might see it evolve behind me because it's going where those two gaming machines are. Nice. So that is where it's going to be.
Perfect spot.
And that Marvel Tower is moving and swapping with Barad-dûr, and Barad-dûr's going over there because Rivendell's underneath it. So it's that real Lord of the Rings section.
This is fantastic. There's benefits when Scott's not on the show because we can geek out about Lord of the Rings. Even though he jokes that he's not a fan, we all know that he's probably the biggest fan that I know personally. He can't beat a little bit of Middle Earth, but no, very jealous, very excited to see what that bad boy looks like.
I'm just hoping it fits.
How many pieces is in it, out of interest?
It's like 8,200-ish, I think. It's something like that.
Good Lord.
8,278. That was a good guess. Yeah.
This man knows his Lego. Maybe we can all just start manifesting. Alex, we caught up about it the last time. I'm still wanting that T-Rex skeleton. Still wanting it.
I nearly bought it a couple of times when it was reduced. I think it's actually on sale in the Lego Insider sale at the minute. I think there's money off it. So maybe it's time to go and buy it.
Oh, you're a bad man.
I'm pretty sure that's one of the sets that's on sale for the next few days.
I'll do it only if you can, just tell a wee bit lie to my wife that you're driving a truck past my house and it just so happened to have fallen off. That'd be great.
I could just say you were building it for me and I just said I'd know where to put it. We'll go with that.
Perfect. And I will return the favour as well. There's another big set that you need to buy and, secretly get past your better half.
I do quite like the look of that new Pokeball that got announced today.
does look good, man. Like, I was in the Lego shop a few weeks ago with my niece, and it was like seeing the Charizard and the Blastoise, the £600 set, and I'm like, yeah, it's expensive, but it's also a bit class. Like
that one. I'm not a huge fan of that one, but I did like that because I'm not. As I've said to you before, like Pokemon's not really. I just missed Pokemon. I think I was just too old. Like I think it just passed me by. But I do like the look of that wee Pokeball one. That was quite cute.
That is cool. Probably a good one for the wee ones as well. But I've still got this Game Boy one that I need to build. It's just sitting in the box next to me. But I'm selfish. Like I want to. You'll appreciate this more than anybody. I want to build it. Like, I don't want to
absolutely.
shoot it. You know what I mean? But if I open it up in front of the wee man, he's just going to get in all about it, and then bits will go missing. And yeah, that's not a good time for anybody. You know what I mean?
My son's very much at that stage at the minute. He's like, "Can I help you build it? Can I help you build it?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Can I do one bag?" And he's quite good because he builds all his own now, and he is pretty good. But I'm just like, "That's his daddy's Lego." Like, and when it's built, you're not allowed to touch it either. And I'm like, and I just this is my chill time, and I don't need you getting involved because I started building the Ocarina of Time set on Sunday.
Yeah.
I only done a wee bit of it, but he's like, "Oh," and then one of the bits, Ganondorf jumps out, does a wee button, and he pops up, and he's like, he's playing about with that. And I'm like, "Well, you're not allowed to play it." I'm like, "No, stop it." But yeah,
I know. Listen, we just like our stuff, guys. We just like our stuff on our shelves.
But the other thing he was trying to bring himself into, he's something like, "Daddy, see the next time you do a podcast, can I do it too? Because I want to talk about Mario." I'm like, "All right."
Perfect.
I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Maybe me and you can do that and we'll record it, then you can listen to it. But I don't think you could really come on the podcast, pal." I was like, see.
We're all waiting on the father-son cut of the podcast to come to the Mimics Field.
Because he's very much like, "Do you talk about me and Dad?" And I'm like, "Not really." He's like, "Why?" I'm like,
so confused.
Talk about games.
I know. God love him, eh? It's an interesting thing. No, who knows? Like, we could be podcasting with our sons in the future one day. Which
you never know.
Exciting prospect, yeah. But like I mentioned, speaking of sons, Scott has welcomed his newborn son into the world. So as we mentioned, huge, massive congratulations. Baby, family, everybody's healthy and happy and doing well, pleased to report. And at the time of this going live, I will finally get my first cuddle with him. I'm going to meet him, so I'm very excited, looking forward to that. And I'll try my best to not burst into tears. Babies have that effect on me now, Alex, as I was mentioning. But got to keep it together. But we've got lots to get into this week. Want to catch up first what we've been playing, a lot of bad news, and then we'll have some fun, like I mentioned, but we'll get some housekeeping at the road. So for those old and new, this is the Pixel Parents Podcast, which is a weekly gaming show by parents discussing all things gaming whilst raising little ones. You can get new episodes every Friday on YouTube, Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so please subscribe to us on YouTube so you don't miss our tired faces. You can get us on Blue Sky at pixelparents.bsky.social or email us at pixelparentspodcast@gmail.com. If you want, you can go support the show for free at patreon.com/pixelparents. Bonus shows and other malarkeys for £0. And if you can, drop a wee 5-star review or share the podcast online with your friends. Whatever you do, it helps us out. And of course, thank you to everybody that does join us each and every week. So Alex, this is a week of bad news and we do need some positivity. So let's start there. We'll keep it a positive sandwich this episode. Okay. Let's kick us off. Just tell us about some good games you've been playing lately.
I mean, quite a few. Probably been in a wee bit of journey since the last time I've been on here, Liam, because I was never that Final Fantasy person. And then I decided I would finally give Final Fantasy VII Remake another go. And this time it clicked to play that. Finished it in a week, loved it. Like, absolutely ran beautifully on the Ally. And I'm just like, why did this not click the last twice I've tried to play it? And so I'm a wee bit on a journey through games that I wouldn't normally play. And some of the Mimics Field guys have joked to him, maybe I need to go to Metal Gear Solid, but I'm sorry, Scott, that's just not happening. Right? It's I can't go that far. But kind of past, I will not say too much about Final Fantasy VII Remake because you guys have talked about that and Rebirth and stuff quite a lot, and everybody knows what it is. But what I then have been playing is another game that I wouldn't normally play, and that's this is the long title, The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tale.
Oh yeah, the 2D HD game.
Yeah, because I'm not a big 2D HD fan, and I think a lot of that's been because the genres of the games that they've released in that style have been either 2G RPG, too turn-based, too strategic, too tactics, whereas this one is just a wee Zelda, almost Zelda-like action adventure game, and I'm very much enjoying it. It's a nice, cozy little game. I think I'm about 10 hours into it now, again, playing it all on the Ally, because I'm very much in my handheld era.
Of course, yeah, of course.
I don't play much on screen at the minute, so it's all handheld. And it's nice is probably the right way of putting it, because it's very nice. Like, everything about it is nice.
Just lovely.
Sometimes too nice. It's almost like you've definitely put too much sugar in that tea type nice. It's keeping my attention, which I didn't really expect it to do. I thought, I'll play this and I'll maybe get a few hours into it. And I'm like, and maybe as I've got to that kind of 10-hour point, I'm a bit like, I'm just doing the same things over and over again here, and it's maybe not. But then every so often something happens, and I'm quite intrigued by that, and the story moves on. And the kind of key mechanic to this game is you're flipping between different ages of this world. So you've got the age of magic, the age of reconstruction, and the age of protection, I think it is. I think the other three certainly the other three that I've been to so far. Whether more come, I'm not sure. And there's enough. There's the same map in each age, but then all the dungeons and stuff and all the different settlements and that are slightly different in each age, because obviously you're at a different period in time. And you're exploring through these periods of time to find and solve these mysteries, or find the right weapons, or then it gets to the usual tropes. You need to save the princess. And
Classic.
then it starts to layer those bits kind of onto it. The story's certainly not its strongest element, but I'm quite enjoying it. Like, it's a nice game, and I know I've said that now like 4 or 5 times, but it's the kind of the best way to describe it.
I mean, listen, we need more nice games just now more than ever, I would argue. Like, I was really tempted to pick it up, and it kind of came and went. I've got sidetracked, which I'll explain later on, but it's I think it's nice to hear, though. And there's that word again, nice, because did you ever try out any of the Octopath games at all?
I think I've very, very briefly tried the first one, but JRPGs were very much out of my comfort zone for a long time. It's only been over the last 2 years maybe that I've even considered going back to trying some more JRPGs, but some of them, like your Personas and your Octopaths and all that kind of side, they're just too big and too much for me. Like, I can't play an 80-hour game, which is why I haven't started Rebirth yet. But
that will consume you.
So actually getting to enjoy that art style in a different genre is nice, because I do appreciate the art style. A lot of people say it's been overdone now, which it probably has. They've ripped the arse out of it, and they've got that Final Fantasy game coming. Was it Resonance? Is that right?
Resonance. Very much looking forward to
it. The mobile one. So it's good to actually get to appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Like, I'm the same camp as you. Like, it's only been the last few years I've started to, enter my JRPG era. Scott has a lot to answer for. You mentioned Final Fantasy, but it was actually Octopath Traveler that was the gateway drug, and I think it was the mix of that art style and lulling you into that sense of nicety, because it's just lovely. The music and all the rest of it, the voice lines and everything's so cutesy, and it's nice to look at. Because there's something so visually appealing, and I would thoroughly recommend, if you're in this era just now, to play Triangle Strategy, because it's just the right amount of tactical in there, but it's the same thing. Like, if you're into like pretty epic stories and stuff with that art style, and it's a little bit more pick up and play. And I believe it is on Xbox just now.
I actually own it in the Meta Quest.
Oh, do you? Oh, so you do actually? Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
Which I did play very, very briefly, and I'm like, maybe it's time to get the helmet back on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it is, mate, because it's all the signs, the stars are aligning. There's something that we can both blame Final Fantasy VII Remake for this as well to a certain degree. But yeah, I'm like still like I picked up Octopath Traveler 0 a few weeks ago, and I had to put it down because I made a stupid choice, and I've kind of soft locked myself into an area that I wasn't ready for. But it's still just great. The only problem is, right, you mentioned all this niceness and stuff, which is hit the nail on the head. It kind of puts me into too chill a mindset sometimes, and I find myself like playing handheld, and I'm like, I'm dozing a little bit, you know. Like, I got to try and wake myself up and get through this next area. But no, it's something, you know, I'll take your recommendation on board and perhaps maybe pick that up a little bit further down the line, because there's a shit ton of games to be fair. Like, there's no shortage of them. I mean, this week I think the Doom DLC is dropping as well, which apparently is like another 12-hour epic. So I'm like, I might actually pick that up.
And Assassin's Creed.
Well, yes, indeed. Funny you mention that. I have actually been playing it as well. We got that through to review, code provided by Ubisoft, if any regulators watching. A review will be live by the time this episode goes live, but have you been playing it as well, Alex?
No, not yet.
It's I'll keep it for the review. I'll just say go check it out and get my thoughts there, but I'm still playing that, and I was measured in my thoughts, because if you listen to the show, you know I'm the resident Assassin's Creed mark / apologist. But yeah, I think in a nutshell, I don't think if you're a fan of it, you're not going to be disappointed. But you know, more thoughts on there. But that's been keeping me busy, man. I've been kind of keeping a little gap in the gaming rotation for that. There's been a few things. I don't know if you get this when you're doing that. You're in a bit of a Goldilocks mode, and you just start hopping between lots of different things at once. And my true north has always been bilateral. Like, still, like weeks later, like can't stop playing this. But yeah, it's been good just to have something to focus on again, and just be like, right, I'm going to make my way through everything here. Probably going to go back and finish it for the platinum. But yeah, I think it's definitely feels like it's came out at the right time. Nice to be summer blockbuster. And you know, probably one of the best looking games on the PS5 Pro. I'll give that much away for free, because I don't want to repeat myself from the review video, but you can catch it on YouTube just now by the time this goes live. And I haven't broken any embargoes. I have at the time of recording this, but not by the time this goes live. I won't tell
anybody, don't worry.
Thank you. Please, I'm got a big Ubisoft breaking down the door. But yeah, it's been a good old time. We also got something else sent through to us, which I can't talk about here just now, but it's related to the kids, and it's something that we can play with the kids, and I'll look forward to talking more about that next week. The reason why I'm not mentioning anything is just it's too early, Alex. It's too early to say. When you get kids involved, I'm trying to play the temper test, and it's like, when are you going to, you know, have a meltdown? Are you going to do something else? You know, so it's very much a observational kid review, so that's what I'm looking forward to talk about next week. But I'll leave that wee teaser, just chuck that out there. Hopefully people can look forward to that next week. But man, like I said, there's no shortage of stuff. I don't know, like, you like to stay organised, Alex, don't you?
I used to. I'm very much struggling recently, but I certainly used to try and be more organised about what I was going to do and play. But
I must confess, I enjoy a spreadsheet, right? Like, this is known about me in the show. And I do have a wee spreadsheet that I keep going about the games. I had a look at it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, I would hate to tally up everything. So I'm trying my best to be really cutthroat. And it's like, nope, like, don't just play the games you're kind of interested in. Or like, that looks good. Just let's hold off on the sale. So I'm like, you know, already looking forward to, like, you know, Final Fantasy. As you'd mentioned, we've got Wolverine, that type of stuff, and of course the big one at the end, Grand Theft Auto 6. But it's difficult, man, because it's just non-stop, absolutely non-stop now, and it's such a first world problem. It's like, oh dear, my pancakes, they're too buttery. You know what I mean? Steak is way too juicy, just all that type of stuff. But yeah, there's no shortage of stuff. I think it's nice to be able to sit in Black Flag, something that I know that I think on average an Assassin's Creed game takes me about 3 months to platinum. So we'll see. We will see.
It's not as big as some of those, though, is it?
No, it's not.
No.
I think I'll definitely be able to I've made a good fair dent in it for the review. Obviously, by the time you get the story and that out the road, it's just a case of, I go into a lock-in mode when I'm playing these games for platinum. It's the same with Shadows and all the rest of it. And I quite enjoy it, just going around bit to bit and clearing it. There's something that just scratches that bit at the back of your brain, just like, man, yeah, get them ticks. That's all I want. Just everything's nice and completed. But yeah, it's there. It's coming to absolutely, devour your summer free time. But yeah, I think good way to kick off the show, Alex. But we do have to now circle back to the big stinking elephant jobbies in the room, which is courtesy of both Sony and Xbox. And we're going to keep the Xbox one for later. And also, Scott, I can guarantee he's yelling at a cloud. Of all the weeks for Scott to not be here, it's when Xbox just take a big dump on the industry, and we know he hates Xbox, so this is his chance to do a pipe bomb has gone. But I'm going to start with Sony, because over the last week since the last episode, Sony had dropped that they're basically going to be ending physical disc production in 2028. Now, we're not going to sit here and rehash the news, right? I just want to know Alex's thoughts on these things, because if you want the whole news breakdown, go to Giant Bomb or something like that. They'll be sitting breaking all that down. But I just want to know what the all-da verdict is here, right? So, Alex, what was your take on that? And, what's your thoughts on PlayStation 6 with that in mind?
I mean, it's shite, right? Because you're just taking away the option and you're just killing even more of the... I don't care about the fact that you're getting rid of discs, right? That's not... I genuinely, if you have a disc, you don't have a disc, that's fine. Like, I'm not precious about physical media, and I'm not one of these people, I don't own this, I don't own that. And I get it, I get those arguments, but personally, like, I don't care. But the bit I have an issue with is you're just making an incredibly expensive hobby, which it now is, even more expensive for people because you're taking away any kind of secondary market. I think that's the key thing for me for the whole bit of it. It's that just because PlayStation are already bad and have already faced lawsuits around the fact they've got a monopoly on their store anyway, and they don't distribute their games digitally anywhere else, unlike Xbox and Nintendo. But it's just making things even more expensive. It's just making all the noises out of Sony at the minute, and the PS6 and like, I don't think you see the PS6 now until after that change happens. I think that's why they're doing it when doing it. Because and whatever they do it, because you're not going to get a PS6 that's got a disc drive. That's basically why they're doing this. Yes. Like, we're not making any discs, so we're not having a console that's got a disc drive. That's where they're going with it. But it's going to be ridiculously priced, and also they've just been opportunistic. Xbox are on fire. GTA have come out and said they're not putting a disc in here. We're planning probably not to do this, so let's just tell them now. And then we'll be little shits and go and hide, because we're not going to actually stand up to our decision and not talk to anybody about it. We're just going to say we're doing it and then not face the backlash. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, I think like when at time of recording, they went nearly a week without putting anything in their socials, and they came back with a bang, and all the comments on it, as you can imagine, is people just asking about physical discs. And I'm with you. Like, I saw the news and it's like, this is crap, because we're big advocates for trying to get the best deal. That secondary market's there, the trade-ins, taking a game to CEX or something like that and just trying to get something back, and always just try to make every pound count, because not every game's a keeper. Like, that's the reality. Like, you'll play it once, you might platinum it, whatever, and then move on. And I was kind of put in mind of the Eric Andre meme, where he, shoots the guy in the chair and he turns around and it's like, how did this happen? And it's kind of like, we are kind of the consumers kind of responsible for their own fate a little bit, as much as I hate to admit it, because I myself am more than guilty of, like, my digital games consumption has pretty much become the norm in 98% of the cases of any games that I'm buying. So I'm like, I have contributed to this decision, whether I like it or not. But I'm not in favour of like removing choice. I'm very much with you in that. But all it's doing is like, I read it at first because it's January 2028, and I thought, is that going to be something that they kick into place for after the PS6 would launch to say end of 2027? But as time's gone on, I'm with you. It's like, yeah, it makes more sense to do it in the run up to it. And, you know, egg on my face for having to, you know, get the PS5 Pro and then going to buy a disc drive. I'm like, yeah, that was worth it.
But then, I mean, and that's the other argument there as well, because I mean, we have bought these and we've got these discs in place for the games that we have. So how do we then play them on a PS6? Is that just going to be, are they going back to, we're just not doing backwards compatibility, or are they going to find a way to, I mean, I know the rumour is that Xbox are trying to look at doing some sort of disc licensing to digital type thing, and how that'll work, who knows? But I think that's a good alternative to this thing, because you still then have the option of a disc. Or even then, if you're Project Helix, which is probably likely to be digital only as well, but there'll be a way for you to digitize your library so you can still play on Helix, I would imagine, is what they're trying to do. But it's just, it's the people who already struggle to be involved in gaming and play the games and buy the games that they want are the ones that are actually going to suffer the most. Ultimately, because they can't go to CEX and trade their game in to save a wee bit of money in their next game. They can't. CEX might disappear.
Probably.
Their model is, I know obviously they do a lot of actual consoles, handhelds, electronics, big ticket items, but I think probably games is a big bit of the day-to-day what keeps them ticking along. So
it's a cornerstone. I mean, they're just going to become a more, you know, media cash converters at this point. But, and if anything, you're going to see the preservationist side of it. More people just kind of preserving their physical games and then that little market, but it's not enough to sustain itself over time. And, you know, if you've got an eye on a physical game or something you really like, you know, the time is now. I mean, I was not totally disappointed, but I was just a tad disappointed about GTA 6's digital code, purely for nostalgia's sake, because I liked having, you know, that particular game series in a game box. But I'm very much like, it's easier having it digital. I can't deny it. Like, I can just download it wherever I go, and I'm like, it's not a bother to me. But I know a lot of people were kind of upset about it. So it's definitely been this day was always going to come. It's just that against the backdrop of everything else, it's like, oh man, like, kick a man when it's down. Like, and the thought of a PlayStation 6, I was always very much teetering. I said that a few weeks ago when we were talking about like the Steam Machine price and all that. PS6 is going to be absolutely astronomical, but, and for a myriad of reasons. But maybe them holding off to 2028 is better in the face of perhaps the prices somehow level out or something happens that more people have more money in their pocket. But that's me being foolishly optimistic. I know the answer to both is no, but I'm also like, you know, the PS5 Pro is very much a case of like, this is as close to your PS6 as you're going to get, and I don't really feel the need. Am I going to fight the FOMO on myself, Alex? Of course I am. When those pre-orders come out, you and I, we're on Blue Sky, we're part of the community, we're sitting there just talking about it, getting caught up in the hype, and it's like, did we just go? Probably. Am I going to hate myself for it? Yes, probably.
I kind of feel though, if there's ever going to be a time that I'm not going to be, it's going to be this time.
That's very true. It's very true, because you're like, well,
it's not.
What's it offering?
It's what's it offering and what's the price point that it's offering it at, because there's never been. I mean, when you're making these decisions before, I know PS Pro 5 Pro was different because it was quite a high price point, but that we were already kind of ticking into where we were at. But when you go back to like PS5 and the Series X, like 500 quid was, give or take, was always like, oh, and then like PS4 and like the 350, and when you're going up to four figures or just below four figures, it's a completely different conversation.
Yeah, and I think that it's probably in the one sick aspect it will kind of deal with the scalpers, because I can see this being more like, I hate doing it, but basically more like your mobile phone type things, and all that prophecy that was probably 2 generations too early will come true, where I think it will be the norm by that point, because Project Helix will come out with your Klarna plans, and the PlayStation 6, that'll probably be the de facto way to buy it. It's like, yep, we'll give you that plus PS Plus on a 3-4 year deal for 20-30 quid a month, have at it. And that's probably a better pill to swallow. And then PlayStation are actually going to make more money and interest on that. But same with Project Helix. But enough about PlayStation. I'm going to segue into Project Helix and Xbox, because the shit just kept on getting more shitty. As Xbox this week dropped a note, just basically, long story short, they're cutting 3,200 jobs between now and the end of 2027. And studios such as Undead Labs, Compulsion Games, and Double Fine are going independent again. And I think news came out today that ZeniMax, their entire division, with a lot of Bethesda studios, are getting major layoffs. I think about half of id Software that's been reported is going to be hit really, really hard with all these cuts. It's just been a very depressing time if you're somebody that does stay close to the gaming industry, and there's no avoiding it, because I think I would much prefer to kind of stick my head in the sand and just be like, I'm quite happy being a pirate this week, but we love games, and these things do have impacts on people's lives, and it's probably just setting that. We're all basically investors in games by buying and participating in this stuff, and right now it's a very uneasy time, isn't it, when you're looking at it that way?
Oh, it absolutely is. I mean, there's no two ways of putting it. It's a shit. Like, it is shit. But in the positive note, obviously there's been all the rumours before, and like Xbox are closing, X, Y, and Z are doing this, but none of the studios are closing. So
yeah,
it's positive. Like, they've found buyers for some, 2 are going independent, and then Arcane's kind of up in the air because of French law, but essentially someone will either buy that or don't go independent. So that's good. But I think what surprised me was some of the, and I get why they're doing this, and maybe I understand corporations and working for big organisations for all my career, that these things are inevitable. Like, it's just what happens, and the shareholders comes first, and that's it. That's just life.
Mm-hmm.
The volumes involved here, right? But what really surprised me was when they were coming out and saying, to do this and that, we have 14 levels of management that you need to get through.
Yeah.
So clearly, this has been mismanaged for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, to have even for a huge corporation, that was 14 levels of management just to get to the top of Xbox. That wasn't even getting to the top of Microsoft. Like, how can you possibly need that many layers and all that? And I know, so at least a lot of the jobs are coming out of that more infrastructure type part of it, which saves some of the dev jobs, because you don't want to lose these devs. They're the ones that contribute to the industry. They're the ones that create. They're the ones that innovate, and you want to keep that talent.
Yeah.
But it's just inevitable, and it's shit.
It is, yeah. And, it's felt like, Asha Sharma's going to take a lot of quite rightful, beatings for this one from the online community, but it's long tail and it goes way back. I think she mentioned that it goes back to as far as 2018 under Phil Spencer's era, and that whole Game Pass, acquisition era, trying to aggressively expand with content first. I think it was like they lost 64 cents on every dollar they invested, she said, and that's why they're positioning this as like, we have to reset Xbox. And I suppose that you might be screaming corporate apologists, but it's like, that's not healthy for any business.
No.
And it was always going to happen. Like, the rot has well and truly set in, and they probably, towards the end of Phil Spencer's era, is like, let's just try and, spend our way out of it a little bit more. And, Call of Duty on Game Pass day one, all the rest of it, it's like, yeah, really cool pro-consumer moves, but they have to dial it back, and it's not popular. Putting the price of Game Pass up, it's like they have no choice at that point. But I think Asha Sharma's probably like, let's put the price down, let's do it as a branding exercise, and try and get trust back in the brand and just go through this shitstorm. Do I think it's salvageable? I don't. If I'm perfectly honest, like I do fear that Xbox will still be there, just not as we know it as a console manufacturer. It feels like Project Helix is the encore to Xbox as we know it, and after that, it wouldn't surprise me if Game Pass just shrivels up into a service that used to have a lot of really good content and a lot of good like value for money drops day one. That'll be the next thing. All these day one Game Pass things will go. Either that or they'll add another tier. It's just rotten. Absolutely rank rotten. That's probably the best way I could kind of sum up, because there's no two ways about it. And if you're listening, you will be listening to other games podcasts out there. There'll be people way more into it than I. You should go listen to. I mentioned like Giant Bomb and stuff like that. Kind of funny, whoever it is, like they'll have endless
just
stuff
go
about
watch
this.
what Jason Schreier's saying. He's the man that knows all this stuff.
That's it. A good wee 16 minutes sorted. His YouTube channel is class, but if you're wanting that, go there. But I mean, I suppose we know our takes, which is this is howling. But do you think we are heading for some type of, industry reset, like a industry correction, something that's there that's almost even like, I dare say, crash, just with the backdrop of everything?
It's not been sustainable for a while now. And I think you can look at all this, everything's getting so expensive and that, but it's been heading this way because it boomed. And when you have a boom, you have a recession after it. That's just
the bust.
That's just how it works. It's a boom and a bust. And unfortunately, we're going through the bust. And I think I'd rather Xbox did this than just disappeared, because PlayStation are bad enough as it is with nobody there. Like if Xbox were just gone and it's just PlayStation and Nintendo are away playing their own game, like they are, like
they're on the dance floor doing aeroplanes and stuff like that.
They're not even in the picture. They're just doing Nintendo, and that's fine. But if PlayStation just got full reign, and fuck knows where we would end up, man, because they've got history of making terrible decisions, and they just seem to be repeating that history.
They're a very successful corporation with no sense of identity just now, PlayStation, and they have been for quite a long time. And yes, their exclusive output is always very impressive and will turn up, and Wolverine and God of War, Life and all that. I'm very much looking forward to them. I'll drink the Kool-Aid, but it's
that
just
shitey jelly cube nonsense.
I'm a sucker for God of War. What can I say? But listen, that's the difference, though. Like, even them putting out stuff with a jelly cube is probably going to attract more players than doing Halo again, or replaying the hits. But they're going to skirt very close, because franchise fatigue is like, well, are they going to do another God of War trilogy here? Are they going to cart out The Last of Us?
And it seems to be like kind of losing. I very much feel we're in that safe where we're in such a bust that nobody wants to take a chance on anything. So it's like, this sells, that's it, do it.
Safe bets only. And I get it, like Nintendo, like it says, they're the king of the safe bet. It's like, we'll chuck it. Yeah, let's remake Zelda. That's cool. And we're all like clapping like seals and loving it. Another Mario, saw that, and then they'll just do there's another Mario Tennis that no one asked for, but it's available tomorrow, and we'll go get it. And they have that, but they are in a totally different end of the spectrum, aren't they? But I mean, the mad thing is, a year ago, Alex, was sitting here and it was all, the bitching and whining about the Switch 2 pricing, and here it is. It's probably one of the most affordable entry points into this hobby just now, if you're
even
wanting to
when the price goes up.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll probably put it up again, and then it's going to just get sillier and sillier. There's an OLED model that £800 and all the rest of it. Like, it is insane. But it's one of those, like you says, we have to go through it. The positive takeaway is we have to go through it to get to the other side, and hopefully there's better days ahead. We just have to stay foolishly optimistic at all times, and worst comes to worst, go into bunker mode. If it is going to be some form of big, gaming apocalypse for a few years, there's plenty of good shit there to hunker down with. We don't have to
get years worth of content.
Yeah, exactly. And all those Assassin's Creed Platinums, Alex, they're not going to get themselves. Just go out and get them.
Exactly.
Keep me going for years.
You could just play Vampire Survivors for the rest of the time.
Oh, good lord! And Vampire Crawlers as well. You're a fan?
Oh, I just got the last achievement the other day because I'd forgot one, and I went back and started playing it again. I'm like, right, demon, just need to turn that off now. That's enough.
See that? and the ally, and you're sitting there, and it's like, man, it was gone. This completely gone. I think somebody thought I fell into the toilet one day with that combination. But yeah, but as we've been talking a lot about resets there, it's got us thinking, the main topic looms large. If we could reset our own gaming habits, where would we start? But before I jump into that, I just want to do a little bit of Dwayne The Rock Johnson in here and a little bit of shilling. So if you enjoy the podcast and you want to support us, you can. So it won't cost you a penny. Just go to our free Patreon community. Visit patreon.com/pixelparents. You get every show, chats, and maybe some very grumpy side quests with Scott coming up soon. Free all the time. And as well, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/@pixelparentspodcast. Now, Alex, all the doom and gloom out the road, let's just take a little more positive up ramp because, we know things are messy and we know that more than ever, this reality of a changed gaming industry is presented before us, blah, 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 right? But in that spirit, I thought, let's just try and have some fun. That's what you got to do when times are tough. Just try and make your own fun. And we thought, what would our gaming look like if we could hit the reset button on ourselves, and can we learn something about ourselves if we were given this opportunity and this main topic, which is the gaming reset, how we'd start again. But Alex, I'm going to start at the top, right? So we both enjoy this particular habit, right? And do you think if you could just hit the reset button, no collection, you've just got a console, whatever one of your choices, you just have the Ally, right? Handheld era. Would you still buy games on day one?
Nah.
Would you be holding off for the sales at all time if you were starting again? Or maybe going back?
Yeah, because, you'll be as guilty as this of me. Look at how many games you could have bought on day one or very early on that you've still never played.
I must cover my face in shame. That's true. I think I would totally do that. And there's been times where it has reached extremes. There's been times that there's been a day one and I've bought more than one game. And it's like, you're just so hyped and conditioned.
You just wait until September or October.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Oh, good God. I'm not too bad. I think I'm being a brave grown man here. And it's like, do I really need Control Resident? It's past me probably would have done that. It's like, yeah, going to get this, going to get that, cool, just sit and saving money. And I'm like,
you're saying that now. Just wait.
I don't know. My birthday's just before it, mind you, but
I see.
No, but I think you're right. Like, I would like to think for us to hit the reset button, I would love to just go one at a time. You know what I mean? And just actually sit there, stay there, almost like if I've got it, like play it, pass it on type thing. But it's my worst habit, I suppose, is that FOMO. You know what I mean? Like, there's something there's a bit about gaming. We play a lot, but I think something we can be guilty of is that I think we're all collectors at heart. You know what I mean? Like, you're collecting the moment. You know what I mean? Like, how often have you been there yourself? Like, it's just, you might even not be wanting it, but it gets to launch day and it's like, there's a good wee bit of buzz. I'll just buy it, and then it's like 10:30 at night. Don't play it, and off you go. Quite a thing.
And it's like, oh yeah, I definitely want to be in playing it this weekend. I'm going to do it, and then you don't, and then you never do.
More true than ever, by the way, especially like when you've got, like it says at the start of the show, life getting in the way.
Yeah.
When you've got something, and it's like, oh, are we going to see them this weekend, or are we going to that park this weekend? And you get home absolutely cream crackered. And Scott, he's really guilty actually of being a still in cellophane man. You know what I mean? Because I've
got plenty still in cellophane.
I mean, it's a moment, but I'm an eager beaver, man. I'm just like ripping straight into it and get it installed and all the rest of that. But I mean, it is something I think, like, if we could reset a habit, I'd love to think I'd be powerful enough to do that.
We were very much joking on the Mount Sale podcast recently about Saros, because I bought Saros when it came out. Still haven't played it.
All right, okay.
Right. Went to install it, put the disc in upside down in the PS5 and thought I'd installed it, but I just put the disc in upside down. So we're one step at a time. So eventually it might make the disc getting in the right way around, and it might install, and then finally I might play it. But it was such bad habits.
It really is, man. And yeah, it's what day one. I think like I'd love to just be. I really do appreciate those people online that are proudly wait for a sale, because they have much more resolve than I do.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know if it harkens back to like I cannot stand any type of spoiler if it's something I'm interested in. And, you know, maybe it's because, you know, I've always been the same, but it's only got worse since like things like the MCU and all that have come about. And it's like, if you're not there hour one, it's spoiled. Even for a big game, it's like you do it and you go through YouTube on your lunch break or something like that, and you go through your subscriptions, and there it is, like bit by bit, or an IGN breakdown of the ending. And it's like, my guys, it's been in for 4 hours. Like, this is a 30-hour game. What was, you know what I mean? But I get that's the internet economy. Like, you want to be there for when they finish.
And I think it almost goes back even like quite a lot further for me. Like back in like my early job days, like when I worked in Woolworths and ran the entertainment counter, so I was putting all the games out for them releasing on a Friday back then. It used to always be a Friday your games would come out, and you wouldn't even know what they really were, but you were like, oh, this is coming, because it was different days. It wasn't like, oh, you knew all these games were coming. You're like, oh, what's that?
Aye, that's quite cool.
And you would just get into a habit of. And then because you were working there, you were like, oh, I'm just going to buy it because you get your staff discount. And you'd be like, oh. And then they'd sit in the cellophane for long enough. And it's just never stopped.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I used to, ones that were really bad for that, and I was a sucker for, was like that staff discount. Like, I used to work at Tesco Bank many moons ago up in Glasgow. And yeah, it was like you would get your Tesco discount, and it was like that Friday night treat. You would just like drive to Tesco, what's that? Oh, I remember doing it time after time with games that I would just be like, either I played it once or twice and like, this isn't really for me. Like, buyer's remorse within 60 minutes. Or it's like, why didn't I just like, I suppose like, it wasn't like you could go online and get a verdict. It's like you'd have to get like a gaming magazine or something like that just to, you know, your way through it to see if it's worth buying. And much more difficult to align yourself with somebody that your taste aligns with as well. So it was always a bit more of a crapshoot. But that's that leads us on to the second one here that I've got, right? So and it might be a bit obvious, but one I want to dig into was, if you could hit the reset button, would you build a backlog?
No. I mean, nobody should ever be aiming to build a backlog, should they?
No, absolutely not. I mean,
you should just be very disciplined, and you should play one game at a time, and you should enjoy it. And if you don't like it, you stop and you move on to something you enjoy. Yeah. And I think it comes as much as you don't want to build that backlog and say, I'll just leave that in the backlog because I'm not enjoying it. It could be like, you should be Marie Kondo in it, and like just playing games that give you joy, like not forcing yourself through these games either. But yeah, like the backlog, well, I suppose like you can say the backlog's a bad thing mentally, because it's like it sits here and you get the backlog guilt, and and then you get to a stage where you just don't care. Like, it's just, it is what it is. But you should never be aiming to build a backlog.
I totally agree. It's more, I think, probably pull the word in. It's like, would I do more to stop a backlog from building, is probably a better way to put it, because I do, it probably comes back to that buyer's remorse. That's the thing I hate the most about a backlog. I look at it and it's like, Jesus, man. And then it gets worse when you go into the online store and you see it at, £20 and you paid 60 or 70 quid for it. It's like, yeah, I've not even touched that, and there it is. Or, buyer's remorse. Dragon's Dogma 2 always comes up, like, why did I run down to Asda that day? Because I saw a deal on Hot Deals UK. It's like, I got it for 30 quid off and all that stuff, but I don't know what it is about. It's the one thing that annoys me the most about being a gamer. And listen, I think any hobby, my wife likes to read books. She's got a stack of them there that she will meticulously make her way through, but she's always kind of got ones adding to it. So it's a healthy pile of books. She's never like without any. Me, as someone that enjoys food, I always make sure it's like, I'm not just going to have the one Mars bar. There's going to be some in the cupboard there should I feel particularly fat that evening and I want to go buy for more. And it's kind of the same thing with gaming, I suppose. Like, yeah, maybe I'm not interested in that. I always come back to like this rule of three. You have like a big meaty game, something a little bit more casual, and something that's a little bit more like, pick up and play. in terms of like a story narrative game, and you can do that. Something old, something new, something you can kind of repeat yourself going back to. That's why I'm a bit of a COD apologist, as you know. And it gets this time of year, and I'm like, yeah, but it's just, I like just to hop in and out. But that's probably a really bad habit, because the time I'm spending on that, I should just be committing, finishing the games, and this is how the backlog just starts to grow and grow and grow, doesn't it?
But that's it. There's no right answer, and I think even I think it's just for it. As long as you're playing things that you're enjoying, then it doesn't really matter. I think that's the key. I think we probably got bad at buying those games for the, as we've said, just for the FOMO, and then feeling obliged to playing them. And even then, you have that thing, and it's in my backlog. But I'll still say that game's in my backlog because I feel obliged to say I've not played it yet, but I'm going to play it. And I think it's that whole, it's almost that online presence side of you as well. Like, you just don't want to like ignore its existence at all, but you want to be in the conversation, and it's almost removing that side of it as well helps you remove the backlog because you don't care. It's almost just being a bit more worried about yourself and nobody else, but naturally we worry about other people being in the conversation as well. Like, it's almost a part of, I think it's part of being in this little community. That's how we work.
It is. And you've actually a very good psychic move there, because that was the next question. You know, like, would you care less about reviews and online opinion? I suppose you've hit the nail on the head there, because I don't know why we do care, because we all admittedly do to a certain degree. I think we also all just do our own thing, but there is that element of being influenced.
Yes.
You know? And we've all been influenced.
Who are sitting here trying to influence you. No,
exactly.
Not really.
Exactly. Not at all. No, stick to what you like. I mean, I think I don't think either of us really care about online reviews. Like, we're not sitting there going, oh my god, IGN gave this a 7. Like, I don't care. I'm interested in them, and I like to see people's opinion, but I would say I'm not particularly swayed. Like, there's been games that have been absolutely trashed and I'll still pick up and play. There's been games that have been praised and I'll play and I'll think, absolute dug meat. Dragon's Dogma 2. This
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto in your case. It's like, that makes up the tapestry of it. I think I would like to care less about the general. The thing that annoys me about online opinions is when the community gets too wrapped up within it. You know what I mean? One way or another. And it's like, I do unplug a lot better. I think both of us do actually. We unplug a lot better than what we did perhaps when we were younger and had more time.
Yeah,
and you can dwell on these things. Like, it passes me by more. I think we can stay in touch with it without sitting there pontificating too much. And it's not to say don't interact like we did 20 minutes ago, but it's like, I think there's some people in there that live in Reddit, that live in Blue Sky, and everything has to be this. It's just not that deep, man.
It's much easier these days not to hit the reply button.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing. Like, you just don't need to engage. Like, I'm like, I'm quite happy that you're there enjoying that, and I maybe give something that we like, but I mean, I don't feel the need to have to say, oh, you're wrong, or
exactly.
And I've never trusted a review less in my life than I would these days.
Yeah,
like, that's it as well, because reviews aren't there. Reviews aren't there for me. I don't see reviews as a general critique of a game. I see reviews as they're something to drive traffic. That's all they are these days. Some people will have a bit of credibility behind them, and I'm sure they are. But even how they're presented, how they're written, it's all about SEO traffic. There's no, some of the smaller, like, I think it depends on the outlet that you're going to. Like, you have a lot of the independent writers and stuff that will go in to actually give you some sort of genuine critique and something that they really enjoy, but usually with a bit of bias involved because they'll tend to focus on things that they like. But still, it's a much better read and use of your time, and a much better impression of a game than many outlets these days.
It's true. Like, I do miss the written word in that regard, like the games magazine part of it. Like, I used to love that, getting it each month, and it was that collection of reviews, and that is still here today. That's probably as far as I would go as to say I enjoy it, because I think if I was to hit the reset button, I wouldn't really care less, because I don't think I could really care less. Like I enjoy, like, you know, understanding it, but it's the same way. It's like, would I care less about the actual news in the world? It's like, I'm aware, but, you know, I crack on and I actively unplug myself from it. And that's someone that used to be a journalist saying that, but it's like, I actively unplug myself from it because it's like too much of it, and that online opinion space and gaming particularly, it can bog you down. And also, we have Blue Sky now. I think if that didn't exist, I'd probably be like, yeah, I need to unplug, because X was just getting absolutely bonkers, and I dread to think
what it's like now.
it was on there now. Yeah, like, it was a bad scene. But Blue Sky is, you know, and it's that word again. It's just nice, you know. It's just
nice. That's what we need. That's what the reset needs to be. Nice.
Yeah, just nice.
Just focus on nice.
Like, just seeing people just geeking out just about, you know, games old and new, and it's like, and that's cool. You know, like that. You know, somebody's doing photo mods in a random game. That's like, yeah, no, that's cool. I can appreciate that. But on that note, next one I hear. Do you think you would replay more games? Because are you a replayer just now,
I'm
Alex?
not at all.
Neither am I.
Like, I don't know if I would. Like, I genuinely don't know if I would, because I'm very much, I like to enjoy the experience, but I don't like to enjoy it more than once. Like, it's just not. And I think that's probably where we're at, and it comes back to that backlog thing as well. Like, the more you replay a game, the less you play things that you necessarily want to play. But if there's a particular game that brings me a ridiculous amount of joy, then absolutely I would replay it. Like, because I think that also comes down to, I know it's not, I don't know if this is on your list, Liam, but it kind of comes into this as well. Like, because you replay some games for achievement and trophy reasons, and one thing that I would do if I reset was not engage in achievements and trophies, because I think it's literally the worst thing that I ever did, because it completely changed how I played games and what games I would play and what platforms I would play them on. And it's just, for all I love it, I hate it at the same time.
It's the compulsion part of that. When, if I look at replays just strictly through that lens, right? And you're right, because it's not only just that compulsion. Like, I just need to do it, and I just need to do 10 more of these activities, and I've got that meaningless little trophy pop.
Yeah,
and I'm not even showing it off to anybody. It's just for me to scratch that part of my brain. But you're bang on. It's the time thing. That's the big difference now. Like, I wish that I could just, like Assassin's Creed, as I mentioned, right? Every time one comes out now, I am compelled to platinum that game. I can't stop myself. Like, I wish I was a bigger person, but I am not. I'm not. Like, I have to do it. Am I impressing anybody? No. Am I impressing myself? No. It's just something that's like, oh, yeah, I've done that, and it's just like this. I do get an odd sense of satisfaction of, like, I've done it right to the end, and that's probably since becoming a parent, that's probably been the newest habit. I didn't actually go for platinums until the kids came along, and I was like, this is weird, but I don't tend to do it that often. I think it was more just because I was skint and I wanted to get more value at the money. But
yeah, and there is positives that side of it as well, to be fair, because it does give you reason to play things again. But not necessarily the reasons that you would want to play them again. That's the
bang on. I think there's only I don't tend to replay games at all, like I mentioned with you, just in general. There's only a handful that I'll go back, and it's just because I want to experience the story or something like that again. Like, Rockstar games will always come up for me. Like, I recently replayed GTA 5. Red Dead 2 did that last year. But the Batman Arkham games is probably the only ones I would say I will go back and just go through them again. And very much like an old film, if you know what I mean. Like, I went and watched the Captain America Civil War again with my son. It's like a film I've seen that countless of times, and it wasn't him pushing the agenda. I was like, all right, you're really interested in this part of the Avengers, why don't we watch Civil War? And enjoyed it. It was good, but I was like, I wish I had that in me more, but it's time. I think that's probably it. Like, if I could reset everything, it would be a magic one to give me more time to play the damn stuff, but it takes away from time for something else that I've not yet experienced, and that's always appealing to us at the end of the day, isn't it? But
more appealing than anything else. I think that's the thing. It's those new experiences that we always strive for, and I think if we could change that and reset that to saying we don't necessarily need that new experience, then it makes all the difference.
That's true.
Said, but that's the hardest one to change.
100%. But is it the hardest one, right? Is the next one? Because I know we're probably both guilty of this. Scott's going to be cackling at this one, but would you buy less hardware?
Yes. And I think that also comes back to the last point around like achievements and trophies, because I'll almost want all the hardware and then I'll neglect it because I want to get achievements or trophies for playing it. Like, it's when I got the Steam Deck, and I don't really use my Steam Deck all that much these days because I've got the Ally, but I wouldn't choose to play the games on Steam because I don't like a Steam achievement. I'd rather wait to play it on a PlayStation or the Xbox to get a trophy or an achievement. Yeah. But I'd still want to have the hardware, and then I'll have the Switch because you need to have a Switch. But I wouldn't choose to play the game on there. I would choose to play it over here because they don't do achievements, and you would still end up with more hardware than you actually need. Because if I then didn't care about trophies and achievements, I would probably play more just on a Switch or a Steam Deck and not need the PlayStation or the Xbox and all of it. And so
I know what you mean.
It's a vicious cycle.
They all cater to very small, differing needs. That's the thing, though. Like, and that's how they get you. And I wish I'm with you. I would totally, if I could hit the reset button, I'd buy less, and I'd probably try and commit to something to try and be a little bit more platform specific. I mean, if anything, it's like, if you could, it's like you would just play on PC effectively, because it's like, we get a little bit of everything over here and maybe a Switch.
And it's cheaper generally. Yeah. Well, not the PC itself, but
the gaming side of it. Yeah, exactly. And, but I don't have the brain capacity for that. I'll go as far as the Ally, and that does me. I feel like I'm a total whiz kid with that, even though it's, very simple, as you know, like it caters to me just in the right places. But I don't know, like, I know next generation, like, the Ally is probably where I will start and end with Xbox. Like, I'm not going to go near a Project Helix at all. Like, and that's pretty much like the Series X, is because the Series X is absolutely fantastic. But I look back at the last generation launch, and I cleared the deck. I got rid of all my hardware. So I didn't have a console for like a week. Got rid of like the Xbox, the PS4 Pro, you name it. And I had been saving up through the year. And because of that, I had also got lucky sitting spamming refresh on the game website to get a Series X for launch day. I managed to get that in. So I had got the Series X on launch and the PS5. And I was like, this is fantastic. But ultimately, it was like, I don't have the time, admittedly, to go across it. And Switch 2 enters the equation. It's like, that's probably been my worst habit as a gamer since, I would say, about the PlayStation 3 era onwards. It's like, I've always had 3, and that was, to be fair, it was like, doing forms of games journalism and reviews, and it was like, I need to have all 3, because if I can get a review code, I can go across it all. And I distinctly remember a point about the start of the PS4 generation. A lot of people within that space on Twitter and that, peers and all the rest, they were all starting to switch to PC and missing a trick, because it's like, I get it now, because you're more likely to get these codes on PC than anywhere else. So stupidly at the time, I suppose, the answer to that is buy less, and I would probably go PC, to be honest with you. If I knew then what I know now, I suppose, Alex, like, just invest in it.
Up in graphics card.
Yeah, exactly. Just stop it and start making bank, man. Like, but on that note, though, that's the hardware part, right? Do you think you would approach like Game Pass and general gaming subscriptions any differently?
Yeah, because there's many that I just subscribe for the sake of subscribing.
Yeah,
like PlayStation Plus particularly. That's the one I probably get the least benefit out of, because I'm like, oh, there is good stuff in the library, but I never play it. Like, I rarely actually play online with other people that I need PS Plus. I still think it's bullshit in this day and age that you need to pay to play online. But
agreed.
It's I would certainly not be as quick to renew my subscriptions as I am at the minute.
Yeah, I'm with you again, man. Like, PlayStation Plus is a big culprit. Like, for me, it's admittedly become I've cultivated this library that's enabled through PlayStation Plus. Every month the games are on there. It's like, just add it. There's hundreds of games on there. It's like, what if? And it's like, I think that day's fast approaching. Like, what if I'm just going to really just slow down new game purchases and just sit in the subscription? Game Pass, yeah, it was way more expensive than it is now. I do get a lot of value out of my Game Pass subscription, I have to admit, particularly across the Ally and console. And I think when you see that Xbox Play Anywhere promise work, I don't think I'd approach that any differently. I think I would still keep that, even though I would recommend the best way to do it is subscribe for the month you've got a big game and then just drop off. But I think we're all guilty of letting subscriptions run on. You're talking to a man that just recently discovered I had a Paramount Plus subscription I just got rid of for the better part of a year. I've not watched it. I go to like Christmas time to watch something daft and I'm like, oh Jesus, I'll let that one run on. But I think, Game Pass, it's a funny one. It does sting for me with the whole Call of Duty thing. I'm surprised they haven't announced like some type of Call of Duty tier, but I think they'll definitely want to try and maximise that. But I was loving those years, Alex, when they were able just to I played that for like a couple of months and it paid for itself. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I'm saving a 70 quid purchase. But PS Plus it's definitely the big culprit. You're right, because I might go back to Call of Duty on PlayStation 5 this year, maybe. Not sure. Not sure yet. We'll see. Depends where I can convince Scott Curry to appear. That's the big question. And he is listening.
He hates Xbox.
He does hate Xbox. He does indeed. He's yelling at a cloud somewhere about this. He's like, you didn't go in hard enough on them. Who knows? Black Ops 2, they're like the port's coming out. Maybe I just buy that and that's me done, because I was a absolute fiend on that game. But yeah, I suppose lots of cool like gaming reset things in there, Alex. But I mean, I suppose ultimately, like, what is one lesson you've only learned about yourself after years of gaming, in terms of like, if you were to think about that reset, what's the one thing you would say you've learned about yourself throughout all of this?
That I'm weak. I mean, I don't think. In fairness, that's not just so exclusive to gaming, as we've talked about at the beginning. Look at the fucking Lego that's kicking around me, and still talking about buying more, and like, it's very much. I'm very much a sufferer of FOMO.
You took the words right out of my mouth, man. Yeah, like, I think that's one thing I can definitely echo, man. Like, gaming is a FOMO hobby at the end of the day. Like, it's the way you engage with it. It's, whether young all the way through to old, it's a community based thing. At the end of the day, it's like word of mouth within the gaming space is like nothing else. You know what I mean? It's like, the closest thing I can say is like a movie. That's quite good, you should watch it. It's not like Netflix or something like that. Then every time you go into somebody else's living room, you'll always have that conversation. If you watch that new show on Netflix, it's like, okay, and then you're friendly about it, you go. Somebody talks that about you with a game, it's like, all right, you have my attention. And then you fold in everything we talked about, online opinion and all that stuff, and the discourse, the dreaded word. And you will find yourself influenced, like, oh yeah, they mentioned it's a bit like this. And I don't know, like, because being a gamer is such an online identity thing at the end of the day, that modern day gamer is, it's almost like that is the price of admission a little bit. Like, the FOMO is the huge cost. And I'm totally with you. Like, I'm weak for it, and I really hate myself the fact that I am, because if I've been brutally honest, it's like, I am not above it. I am not above it. It will absolutely get me under its thumb each and every time, but I'm wanting to get better, Alex. And I suppose if we look in the face of a general gaming reset industry wide, with a PlayStation 6 that will cost 3,000 quid and a Project Helix that's out with absolutely no appeal to anybody, it might be an opportunity for us to actually enter a new chapter.
Retire.
retire. That's it. Back in my day, we had these things called discs.
Before that, it was a cartridge.
A cartridge, aye. Oh God, aye. I think I had found an old Game Boy cartridge when we were moving house, trying to explain to Rudy, that this was a game. You just look at it like, nah, you're on goalie, big man. No way.
It's like, I don't know if you've seen any of the cage match at Forbidden Door, and Kyle O'Reilly come out with the NES during the match, and he used it as a weapon during the match, but he took out then a cartridge and he started blowing the cartridge before he put it into the NES and all this. So like, you know what you're doing there, pal? Like, that's exactly what all you used to have to do. Didn't he then scalp somebody that was bleeding profusely like with it? But yeah.
I mean, I can never prove that technically worked, but it worked.
But it did work.
It worked, you know what I mean? Like, we blew in the cartridge, that's you sorted. I mean, the only one up for that was like discs whenever they scratched. And my cousin had showed me, like, apparently you put toothpaste on the disc and gently rub it into it, and then it worked. And I was like, no way, it did. I do not advocate that people do that, by the way, at home. But yeah, it's
Aye, go and cover all your discs in toothpaste.
That's it. See what happens. See what happens. You know, it fixed our copy of SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, so happy days. But yeah, no, it was a good chat though. I mean, listen, there's lots of stuff going on there, but I think ultimately our biggest main boss in all of this is time. Yes. As we always say, it's the recurring theme on this show and many other shows. It's just like, time is always going to get in the way. And I suppose if you're looking at a reset, I'm going to walk away from this conversation, Alex, and probably take to heart a little bit of it. It's like, there is an opportunity there to perhaps reset some things and capitalise on my time. I'm not going to lie, I'll still have the FOMO. I'm going to try though. I will still have the FOMO there, but yeah, you can perhaps be my sponsor to kind of get over that a little bit.
I mean, I don't think there's ever going to be a year with more FOMO than this year. I think that's the hardest part. Like,
brutal.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, fast forward to November, right? When Nintendo do the absolutely insane man thing they're going to do, which is drop the Ocarina of Time remake, probably within the same 2 weeks as GTA 6, bang on the anniversary, right? It's like, I'm going to pick that up, and it's like, I'm not going to touch that till Christmas. But hey ho. But there's method in the madness, you know? There is method in Christmas.
But the difference is, your Nintendo game's not going to go on sale anyway, so it doesn't matter. Precisely.
So, you know, strike with the FOMO's hot, buy everything and never replay a thing, people. That's what I really say.
Do what makes you happy.
Exactly. But alas, Alex, I'm going to move on to our little next segment here, which is just a little reminder that, of course, the Pixel Picks replay is live. For those unfamiliar, it's a video game book club. We're inviting all viewers and listeners to join us as we replay the top 100 video games from the Pixel Picks list. So every month it's a new game. At the end of the month, we catch up for a wee retrospective chat on it. So for July, your Pixel Picks replay is Burnout 3 Takedown. Alex, you'll also need to join in on this one if you can. And after this week, I would say to hell with all the alleged stuff. You know, in the spirit of Edward Kenway, I say I've asked, pirate away and play. Because that's the only way you're going to get your hands on it, to be fair. Unless you've got an old console kicking about. But Burnout 3, was that your pick on the list? I can't remember. I'll need to double check that. Double check this.
I mean, it's certainly the kind of thing that I would.
Yeah. Feels like an Alex pick.
I would suggest, because it's very much like Star Wars Galactic Racers. Like one of my most anticipated games of the year, which obviously is shares some DNA with Burnout 3 Takedown. So
no. When's that? Is that September one as well? No, that's October.
I think it's because you think you get, is it end of September, beginning of October? Is it because you've got the Star Wars bookend, because you've got the Zero Company one first, and then Galactic Racer at the end. So.
October 6th. I've got a wee note here for a past episode that I've not deleted off. Just looking at September and October, I'm like, oh damn, that's designed to skin me. Like, even looking at like some Blood of Dawnwalker, which I really want to check out, but I'm also like, I am not.
Because the previews just dropped, didn't they? And they're like amazing.
Yeah. I think that's that. You know, some games you're like, it's a January sale effort. You know, like you can see that's going to drop in price. Hopefully the publisher isn't listening and they know my wicked ways. But lots of stuff to play. But Burnout 3, takedowns on the list. Alex, would be good if you can join us. I'm still figuring out a way how to get my hands on it, but I think I'm just going to have to hell with it. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Yeah, to hell with the alleged stuff. We'll get to playing that. But you missed out on last month's one, which is Tetris Effect. Alex, you a fan?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's a great game, man. It's a great game. It was good going back to it.
Connected is excellent.
Yes, I think that was is that on PS5, that version, or is that the PSVR one?
No, the connected version was the one that initially released with the Series X, because it had the multiplayer stuff, and then it went on to PS5 as well, and PSVR too.
Indeed. No, it was great going back to it, man. It was great. But like I says, invite everybody to get their hands on it somehow. If you do, let us know as well, because I'd like a wee chuckle just to see if we could take down this industry. Maybe we're about to enter a new golden age of piracy, but we'll see, man. And on that note, you'll get the Assassin's Creed Black Flag review on YouTube as well. Go check out if you want to hear me talk pish about the verdict on that game, and if you're interested in it. And yeah, hopefully I've either sold you or swayed you. We'll see. But that does bring us an end to this week's podcast. So thank you once again for joining us. Remember to support all the small independent games media out there. So if you like what you hear, you enjoy the podcast, just give us a wee share. Tell your pals, tell your dog, tell anybody. Just leave a wee 5-star review. Helps us out, makes a huge difference. And if you can, go to our free Patreon community at patreon.com/pixelparents to support the show. Now, Alex, please tell our lovely listeners where we can find you personally, but also where we can find the Mimics Vale on all the other channels.
Yeah, you can find me at alexsurvives.bsky.social and also at Alex Survives on Twitch, which I have still been streaming here and there. I've been dabbling a wee bit, but it was the holidays and work recently to get back, but I'm planning to get back to that over the next week or so. So yeah, come say hello. Mimics Vale, you can search, or you get the mimicsvale.bskies.social as well, and that will give you all the links to the podcast. Or when you find this podcast, just search for the Mimics Vale and you'll find us as well.
Exactly, and please do go check them out, guys. I think we linked to you guys. I'm not sure if it's on Spotify. Definitely on Patreon, but if there's links there, go please check out the show, and then you can hear more of Alex's lovely tones each week on there.
Hopefully a bit less croaky. I apologise for my croakiness tonight.
No, you've done well, man. You've done well. Alex was complaining of a bit of a sore throat before he got started. So, the things that he does to bring this show to you guys, I hope you appreciate it. But yeah, you can find me on Blue Sky at carmelite.bsky.social. Scott's out there in his paternity leave journey at llamaman.bsky.social, where I'm sure he's just full of praise for Asha Sharma and Xbox this week. I want to give you a big, massive thank you to our producer and music man, very talented and handsome Mr. Sean Murray. Go show him some love. Check out his work on Instagram at Bare Hands Designs and barehandsdesigns.com. You can get the next episode on all your major podcast platforms. Follow us on Blue Sky at pixelparents.bsky.social. Even write to us at pixelparentspodcast@gmail.com. But wherever you are, please like, share, subscribe, and as we always say, play some damn games. But until next time, stay safe, stay sane. Thanks for listening. Play Alan Wake 2.